Good evening and thank you. My name is Erica Haugen. I work as the Community Development Block Grant Programs and Housing Choice Voucher Program Supervisor with the Housing and Community Development Department. Tonight we are going to have a public hearing on the fiscal year 18 annual action plan for the use of community development block grant funds. Our block grant funding is received from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development on an annual basis, and the majority of this funding is used to benefit low and moderate income populations in our community. Just to give you an example of a low and moderate income household, that would be a 4-person household earning $53,900 or less. So it's someone who's earning under 80% of the area median income. HUD sets the income limits on an annual basis, and they are adjusted. The city of Dubuque is an entitlement city, and this means that we are required to engage the public and develop a plan for the use of our block grant funds on an annual basis. If we apply for them and we follow the procedures, we're entitled to receive those funds. This hearing will be on year 3 of the 5-year plan for block grant. HUD allows communities to use CDBG or block grant funding to meet 3 national objectives that communities can decide which objectives they want to meet based on their needs. They have to either benefit low and moderate income populations, eliminate slum and blight, or meet an urgent need. The city of Dubuque uses 70% of the CDBG funds we receive over a 3-year basis to benefit low and moderate income persons at a minimum. We use funds to create affordable housing in livable neighborhoods and to expand and create economic opportunities for low and moderate income persons. I would like to recognize the members of the Community Development Advisory Commission for their work meeting the needs in the Dubuque community. The role of the commission is to allow for citizen input and to make recommendations on how to allocate the approximately $1.3 million the city receives on an annual basis. Members of the commission work to identify the needs of low and moderate income persons, prioritize those needs, identify resources, and make recommendations on how to use those resources to address economic, neighborhood, and housing needs. In addition to making recommendations on the use of block grant funds, the Commission has also established a procedure for allocating local funds to benefit nonprofit organizations meeting human and social service needs in the community. The Purchase of Service Grant Program provides funding for nonprofits that are working to support or enhance the goals that are set by City Council. The budget for purchase of service grants is going to be reviewed on Wednesday, February 22nd at another budget hearing. And after the budget is approved, the grant cycle will open and we will accept applications. For fiscal year 2017, the year that we are in, the Commission recommended funding for 10 organizations providing services ranging from job training, before and after school programs, diversity training, emergency and transitional housing programs as well. I'm going to go over some of the accomplishments from fiscal year 16 that we were able to achieve with the use of our block grant funding. We had housing and neighborhood development programs in 2016, as well as administrative and planning activities. The housing activities funded included inspection services, loans to make improvements to existing housing, and financial assistance for first-time home buyers. Neighborhood development is supported through a variety of activities that are delivered on an area basis in our low and moderate income areas of the city. Our neighborhood support grants target neighborhoods that are home to over 12,000 residents, and neighborhood recreation programs include open gym and after-school programs. We also provide funding for day camp at Four Mounds, classes through the Dubuque County Extension, music lessons through Northeast Iowa School of Music, Playtime for Tots, and a community basketball league. Our block grant funds also support nonprofit organizations working to meet the needs of low and moderate income populations. These organizations provide access to emergency and transitional housing, senior activities, and allow residents to make improvements to their homes and their neighborhoods. Block grant funding allows our city to continue investing in vital infrastructure in low and moderate income areas. This is, of course, key to helping us create good jobs and promote economic resilience in the areas. The addition of zoning enforcement allows city staff to quickly and efficiently respond to requests from citizens for improper parking, storage of vehicles, illegal use in a specific zoning district, and this helps maintain the integrity and livability of our neighborhoods. In fiscal year 2015, the Economic Development Department worked to coordinate a CDBG loan to create 18 full-time equivalent jobs that would be made available for low and moderate income populations. Brazen Open Kitchen created 12 full-time jobs their first year open and finished with I think they actually created more than 6, but they finished their obligation of 6 additional jobs in fiscal year 16. The restaurant's located in the Millwork District within walking distance of many of our historic neighborhoods. We leverage our CDBG funds at a rate of $5.26 in non-formula funds for every dollar in formula funds. Nationally, we are ahead of the curve. We leverage about $1 more than the national average. Our CDBG entitlement expenses for fiscal year 16 was $1,051,675, and we were able to leverage over $5.5 million from public and private funds. This leverage is extremely important as the federal allocation for CDBG funding has been cut by about $1.4 billion since fiscal year 2001. Right now, the government is currently operating under a continuing resolution through April 28th, so we do not expect to find out about our CDBG allocation for fiscal year 18 until the House and Senate move through the new bills. The fiscal year 2018 Community Development Block Grant budget is based on our estimated entitlement and the projected amount of program income for fiscal year 2018. So as funding has continued to decline at the federal level, we have taken some steps with our CDBG funding to stretch our dollars a little bit further. One of the things that we did was reduce the number of CDBG grants for housing development or rehabilitation programs. So instead of providing grants for housing development, we're offering primarily low-interest loans. And this has resulted in a significant increase in program income that allows us to assist additional households as well as fund other activities. For the housing development programs proposed for 2018, our funds are going to be allocated for support to rehabilitate substandard owner-occupied and rental housing. We're going to provide assistance for first-time home buyers. We're going to continue our code enforcement efforts in low and moderate income residential areas and purchase vacant and blighted homes and rehabilitate those homes to sell to low and moderate income buyers. The block grant also provides matching funds for the city's Lead and Healthy Homes program, which is working to reduce lead hazards in homes occupied or frequently visited by children under the age of 6. The proposed neighborhood development programs are designed to create quality living environments for low and moderate income persons and also in low and moderate income areas. We do a variety of activities for public services, like support nonprofits, but we also do infrastructure improvements. Federal regulations do limit the amount that we can spend for what HUD calls public service activities. to about 15% of our entitlement, and we allocate our resources to make sure we do not exceed that 15% public service cap. The administration and planning activities for 2018 are just about 20% of the CDBG allocation. It's actually about 18%, I think, it's going to be. We fund neighborhood development services and staff, housing administration, and block grant administration. This is another capped activity where HUD states that you cannot spend more than 20% of your entitlement on these activities. We use these resources to complete our consolidated plan, our annual action plan, to make sure we're doing accurate financial management, and to continue with our year-end and annual reporting. In 2018, the city will begin the assessment of fair housing, which replaces the analysis of impediments that was previously used by communities who received CDBG. This assessment of fair housing is going to examine 4 areas. We're going to look at patterns of integration and segregation, racial or ethnically concentrated areas of poverty, disparities in access to opportunity, and disproportionate housing needs. The fiscal year 2018 plan allocates 60% of the funding to housing and development programs, about 18% to administration, and the remaining 22% to neighborhood and community development programs. We're planning on a budget of about $1,485,000 for the year. I would like to conclude the public hearing part of this presentation by inviting members of the public and you as well to take a survey and share how you would like community development block grant funds to be used. The survey is available on the city's website at www.cityofdubuque.org/CDBG. And the public comment that we receive does go on record and is used to help us determine needs in our planning process. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Erica, for that presentation. And we are in a public hearing on the fiscal year 2018 annual action plan. Is there anyone in the chambers to address the council on that plan? Seeing no one, I'll bring it back to the table and ask for a motion to adopt the fiscal year 2018 program year 2017 Community Development Block Grant CDBG Annual Action Plan and adopt the resolution. Mr. Jones.
Move to receive and file the documents and adopt the resolutions.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Jones, second by Ms. Connors. Any discussion? Trish, would you call the roll, please?
Connors.
Aye.
Resnick.
Aye.
Lynch.
Aye.
Rios.
Aye.
Buell.
Aye.
Jones.
Aye.
Del Toro.
Aye.
That motion carries 7-0. Thank you again, Erica. And I would remind everyone, if they can, to please help her out with that survey.